stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known. It would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One train over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life, there's nothing certain, simply curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known. It would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning, good morning. This is 1100 WSG. I'm Utah LaVern, and this is One Street Over. And oh my goodness, I'm so glad I got my brother in Jesus Christ, Bill Jones, here. I just love talking to him, and my goodness, what a monumental day this is. We have been up watching. Wow. First thing I did, and I have typically not been turning on first thing in the morning anything political, but as I went to sleep last night anticipating the release of the rest of the hostages and from Hamas, first thing I did this morning, I was like, have the hostages been released? And I found a live feed on the BBC, and you said you watched it on
I
what?
watched NBC now, and it's a, no advertising, continuous coverage. I watched it for over an hour, and it was amazing, just amazing. To be born now and see this in history is really special.
It's really so special. But we're talking about the address by Netanyahu over the Knesset, their parliament. And what was fascinating is after Bibi, as they call him, got wrapped up his remarks, then the opposition party got up to remark. And President Trump was like, come on, opposition. And he comes up. And again, it's the same. And he just reiterates what Bibi said, but what Prime Minister Netanyahu said. And just it's incredible. And of course, then President Trump gets up and he starts talking about how, my goodness, you talked too long, Bibi, you talked too long. And then he talked twice as long, and he was still talking when we came in here and sat down. I had it in my ear, and I had to finally turn it off.
Whether you like him or not, this is a real special event.
It is.
I don't know how they pulled this off.
I don't either.
It's amazing.
It is breathtaking. And yes, the hostages have been released. They're headed home, the 20 remaining live hostages. And when you hear these stories, guys, one thing that Prime Minister Netanyahu said he was talking about some of the videos that were shown and how his heart, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. And the cruelty of it all. And
did you see the one where the guy stood up and lost 3 limbs?
No, I did not.
I just can't imagine living through that. They thought he was dead.
Yeah.
At first, and
it's incredible. It's incredible.
Just amazing.
It's incredible.
And history, historical events, and
incredible history, and
positive and negative, whatever you think about it. It's a historical event you won't see again.
As I was turning in to come up here, and I had to turn it off, he was remarking about how that now he may still be talking, I don't know, but he was headed to Egypt for a meeting of a lot of the Arab nations to come together because of the finances it's going to take to rebuild, in Gaza. And you could see that there was more of a reluctant applause when he started talking about the Arab nations, because if you know your history, whenever Israel was given its country back, at the end of World War II, the Arab nations, the ones that he's going to meet with, that President Trump is going to meet with, are the ones who gathered to try to overtake Israel to not let that happen.
Right.
So these were their enemies then, and these are the ones that he's going to meet with now, and it's just monumental. I mean,
well, knowing your history and knowing Bible history,
yes.
you tie it together. You see the big picture and what's happening and what's going to happen.
Incredible! It is incredible. Amazing time this morning, guys. Welcome to it. I know we're all on vacation with Robertson County Schools. I am not, because I've just got too much to do. And Lee Marie goes, don't you want to take this week off? And I'm like, well, my son is getting married next week, so I'm going to be off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I have got so much to do.
Did
I
you
need
warn
to
him?
Get up, huh?
Did you warn him?
Oh, no, they're wonderful. My daughter-in-laws, I have been so
This is a
blessed.
permanent thing. You know?
My daughter-in-laws are all so wonderful, and I don't just say that because I'm on the radio. We are so truly blessed. I'll tell you why, is because I have been praying for my girls. Steve Flatt told me, this is a preacher we had at Madison years and years ago, and he was the one that drew us to Madison because we just loved him, and we loved what the Madison Church, when we first got there, they had children's homes, they had an old folks homes, they had the Benevolent Center, which they still have. I mean, just the incredible way they were just in the community is what drew us to Madison, and they still are. Now, we don't have the retirement home, we don't have the children's homes like we did, but the work they do through benevolence and through the just feeding that neighborhood, I mean, it's just a heart of service at Madison, and so that's what drew us there. It's the reason we're still there. But Steve said one time in service, and this is after my children were probably several years old. He said, "Pray now for your children's husbands and wives," or
I did that before my grandchildren were born. I prayed for them.
Yeah.
Before they were born, somebody gave me that idea, and I thought, I'm going to do this, and it worked. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it did a lot of good.
Be praying over them. The minute that my fifth grandchild is going to be born in March, and it's a little girl. From the moment I knew that they were expecting, I started praying for my grandchild's spouse. Now I pray for her future husband, and don't even know her name yet. I think I kind of know it. They've hinted at some names, but I do. I pray for my daughter-in-law's husband. I mean, I pray for my grandbaby girl's husband. I pray for my grandboys' wives, and my new grandbaby girl's husband. And I've started now. And I even told when my kids have all gotten married, they've asked me, because I'm the mouth of the family. And my husband can too. My husband, well, it's like people will have sometimes ask me at events, so like celebrations of engagement and all that, and several of them said that this is an answer to prayer, and big prayer. And so I'm very proud of my girls and very proud of this one. And I'll tell you, here's the breathtaking thing: all my girls are from families that are their parents are still together.
That's unusual.
That's very unusual. None of them are children of divorce. And there's my sister. She was married multiple times, and it just and for those of you who have walked that walk, God bless you. I know it's so hard, but I'm stunned that all the girls come from families that fight for their relationships, because that's what it takes when you're married. It's battleground to stay married, especially in the society we have now that just says, well, I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't put up with that. Right. And I'll tell you, my sister, God bless her, she was married, again, multiple times. And there were many times when my husband and I were butting heads. She was like, well, I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't put up with that. And I thought, well, yeah, obviously. But we pushed through it. And I'm telling you, if you're in a marriage where you're struggling on something, fight through it. Find a body of believers that'll help you fight through it, because I'm telling you, on the other side of it, you have no idea what you're missing out on if you don't. So, but to have girls that all come from families that did that is, I'm so thankful for that answered prayer. But pray for your grandchildren's spouses. Pray for your children's spouses, and start now. Even if they're older, start now. And but like I said, we've got a wedding next week, and I don't know. So I'm going to be working hard all week trying to get everything done and trying to get our house done. We've got our house torn apart. It's been torn apart all summer. But it needed to be done. We had just a lot of renovation we needed to do. But Bill Jones is here, and he's got this wonderful list of stuff. We just had to talk a little bit about the incredible things going on
what brought this
today.
On? I saw, and I've heard this so many times, people will say, there's nothing to do in Springfield.
You're so
and
wrong.
I thought, where are you getting this information? We've got multiple stuff to do compared to 20 years ago. And it hadn't been one concern that's caused it, like the Chamber of Commerce, but it's been a lot of people civic clubs, churches, organizations, and just maybe retail, restaurants. And it's just amazing what all there is to do. And I think about people moving in here from away from here.
Wow.
And I've asked
this.
them.
I'm looking at this list.
It's 4 pages. I just sat down last night, spent about an hour writing these things up, and I thought we'd go over it this morning. But, we're so fortunate to live in Robertson County. You just don't realize the benefits of it until you start looking at it and seeing the variety of things in our county. But the most important thing to me is the beauty of it. You can drive out to Barren Plains, Adams, Cedar Hill, down toward Pleasant View. You see beautiful fields and colors, especially this time of year. We don't have one kind of tree like a fir tree or something like in some places up north. We have multiple types of trees, and they're all different colors. People spend bunches of money to go to East Tennessee in the fall from other places to see the colors.
Yeah.
We got them right here.
Yeah, we do.
We have beautiful farmland, beautiful colors that all you have to do. I was talking to somebody who moved here a few years ago, and I said, come on, go with us out Barren Plains. He said, where is Barren Plains? What they're doing is going to work, coming home, watching TV. They're not getting out. There's some really, really nice farmland. And sights to see all around Robertson County. And it's stuff going on that I can't, I'm active, really active, always have been. I can't get to half of this stuff, or even less than that. But, but one thing I remember growing up here the most is when I went off to the military and I came back and I smelled tobacco barn smoke. And I thought, I have missed that. It brings back so many memories. I drive around now looking at tobacco barns. And you got new ones of metal, old ones of wood, smoke coming out of them. I used to be a volunteer fireman, and this time of year we would get calls constantly from people driving down the interstate, seeing a barn with smoke coming out of it, and they would call it and say, "His barn's on fire." Well, we knew it probably wasn't, but we'd have to go anyway. And that's the way it is in all these places. They have these little barns and stuff, and the aroma you never forget. The aroma of tobacco being fired with sawdust and different things, that it's just, I'm thinking, every year around Christmas, there's a Christmas tour of houses in Springfield. They ought to have a fall tour of barns.
I agree.
And not only just to see the barn with the smoke and how they do it, open the door and see what's burning in there, but that someone would stand outside and explain how they cure tobacco and tell about, because tobacco's going away. It's not anything near what it used to be around here. And it would make an interesting tour.
Steve Bernard at Bernard Farms, he does. I know when they did the fall festival out at Adams, he was teaching tobacco twisting.
That's good.
There was a picture of him and his youngest Tanner. They were twisting and doing the tie.
They used to give away twists of tobacco in different functions around town. I hadn't seen it in a long time.
They do some stuff because they still raise it. But again, I was talking to Julie the other day about tobacco, and you're right. I mean, it's just not something
I ordered a twist of tobacco off the internet, and I thought, oh, this looks good. When I got it, it was that tall. It's just so small.
Oh,
but the picture made it look big, and I thought, well.
You just go out to Bernard Farms, Custom Cuts and Market, one of our sponsors. You can go out there and I think they sell them, and they have them at the museum usually.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because I tell the
big
story
ones too.
Yeah, well, I've told the story a couple of times when right before the Ukraine war started, our friends from Ukraine were here. And Natasha and Sasha were both. There was an interview I did with them, and it's still on YouTube. Praise the Lord that we have YouTube, because Facebook wiped out all of our stuff. You know,
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they dumped all of the videos of the shows, and but we've got a lot of stuff on YouTube. Once the shows I don't have are the real early ones I did before Ebenezer started their YouTube page. But we've got all the shows on YouTube. And the show that I did with Sasha and Natasha right before the war started, they were here dropping their daughter off at college. And it was right about this time of the year. And it was so funny because I was trying to find some smoking barns for them to see. And we never did find any, but I got him a tobacco twist and gave it to him. He was just fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny. But, it's just something so unique to this area. And I just absolutely love it.
It is unique, very unique.
Here's another, you're talking about the smell of the tobacco barns. What about, and this is something that I've mentioned to several people and they don't really recall it. I grew up on a farm where we had this big, huge grain dryer. And you can take the moisture out of your grain and you're going to get a higher yield at market. Well, the daddy and my brother, I guess, still dries the corn. The corn going through the grain dryer, oh my goodness. The smell is incredible. It is just the sweetest smell. And you have these, now if you live near a place where they dry corn, the pink husk that fly through the air and collect, it's one of my most vivid childhood memories of farming. About if anybody else, it is just the most amazing smell. And I can remember the tobacco smoke. We tried our best when I was heading up the Republican Party. We were I thought we were supposed to put together these gift bags and all this kind of stuff. And at the dinner, and I tried to get a candle made that really captured the smell. Never did find one that I thought really did.
Think you could.
Yeah, and there's a few people that say they've mastered it. I've smelled them. I've not found one yet that I thought really captured those smells. But there's a few people trying. But yeah,
simple things like mums. Around here, people buy mums this time of year. They don't last all year long.
No,
they're pretty and they have a great aroma, and the different colors of them. And they, it's just something we do, always have.
Yeah,
and I knew people that grow mums, just to sell at different places and Ace Hardware and Lowe's and all that stuff. But mums and pumpkins, this time of year, what do you do with a pumpkin? You can't eat a pumpkin.
They're just pretty.
They're pretty. And
well, now pumpkin's good. I really, one of my favorite things at this time of the year is I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah,
but I don't want all those pumpkin coffees and stuff. That stuff that y'all drink at Starbucks.
Yeah, I don't care about all
that.
No,
thank you. I love pumpkin pie. Only at Thanksgiving. That's what I want is pumpkin pie. But otherwise, no.
There's activities around here for all ages, and for the young people of 20 and 30s, 40s, we have activities on the square. Friday night on the square, we have all kinds of stuff going on with food, booth, music. We have our own local people for music. Buzzy Poole, he's a mayor. He's a big music man, and we got you can go take your lawn chair, sit down. It doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah.
There's no charge for that. There's a lot of things that do charge, and you don't have to go to it if you don't have the money. And then, there's other things there's more than other things that are free. That the city pays for, the county, different organizations do it because they just love doing it.
We know. So we're going to start going through this list of stuff. But Bill is like, this is History Monday, but his focus today is historically, we didn't have all this stuff back then.
Right.
And so that's what he wanted to talk about, and to just kind of talk about some of the things going on. And I think this is a great idea because there's so much. And I'll even tell you, one of the things that is I don't see on here, you've got the pumpkin patch that's up Honeysuckle Hill, but we also have the
there's another one.
There's
the
Shuckles. Shuckles is up here.
I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, because I had Craig on the other day to talk about, he's the one, they own Fieldy Farms, and they have Shuckles Corn Maze, and let me see, what is that?
I remember I took my granddaughter through that.
Yeah.
Not that one, but the other one. And when she was real little, and she loved it, the corn maze and all the activities they have, and you could buy pumpkins, and it's just really something for kids. And so we got things for all ages, but
it's Shuckles
really
Corn Maze, ShucklesCornMaze.com, and you can go on and
where's it located?
It's like up in the Greenbrier area.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's up in the Greenbrier area, and that's one thing. And I didn't even realize. Well, I had them on the other day, and I was like, I didn't even realize this was going on, and I started asking him.
I didn't know about them until you had them on.
Well, and the fun thing, I didn't think that it was one of those things that had been going on that long, and he said no, and they've had it for I don't know 10.
I didn't know that.
13 years.
Didn't know it until I heard him with
and
you.
It blew my mind, but I just had no idea that it was going on. But it was pretty cool. So that's one of those things. That's another corn maze that you can go on and go and see what it's all about.
Really neat. And you don't have to worry about some weird stuff or somebody, Yeah. It's really for kids, and even the adults like it. They don't want to say so.
But if you go to Shuckles Corn Maze, again,
how you spell that?
Shuckles Let me pull this back up here. I had it just up here. Hang on just a second. Let me pull up. Craig Pulley's who I'm talking about. He is the proprietor of Fiddledy Farms. Him and his bride, they own Fiddledy Farms, which is just a premier place that if you're wanting to go and if you have a wedding or something, I mean, just a really cool place.
There's lots of those places around Robertson County.
I told him, I said, honestly, thank you so much, because them putting up Fiddledy Farms convinced me I didn't need to have a venue. We talked about it, and it was something that everybody's like, oh, y'all got this beautiful farm. You need to have a venue. And so everybody just kind of kept pushing us to do it. I didn't want to.
Right.
And I very quickly found that it's not for me. And they do a beautiful job there, but they also own Shuckles Corn Maze. It's SHUCKLES corn, CORN maze.com. Shuckles
Corn
like
Maze.
You shuck corn. Yeah, like you shuck corn.
Yeah.
ShucklesCornMaze.com, but that's another corn maze. And of course we've got Honeysuckle Hill Farm, that's even on the Monopoly board for Robertson County.
Really? Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Or is it a Springfield Monopoly board? I guess it's a Springfield Monopoly board, and they've got Honeysuckle Hill. Honeysuckle Hill Farm is on there. Yeah. So we'll go through some of your lists here, Bill. Let's talk.
Okay. Of course, we have Friday night football. Everybody around here loves it, whether you know the team or not. Yeah. The other night, I was at one, and there was a lady about 30 feet away from me had a bullhorn. Well, my ears are not good, and I was trying to cover my ears, and she was so loud you couldn't understand what she was saying. And then she got down front toward all the crowd with a bullhorn. She came back up, and I said, "Ma'am, how much would you take for that bullhorn?" And she said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Would you take $20?" No. And she said, "What are you going to do with it?" I said, "I'm going to throw it over the top of the bleachers." If you would let me have it. She just looked at me and just kept on going with it.
That's hysterical. I love you. That's so funny.
Man, that was
That
awful.
is funny. He's anyway. That's a way of saying, in a nice way, you're annoying everybody.
Yeah, right. But anyway, there's Friday night football, which is exciting because all the kids and everything, they really get into it. And the cheerleaders, the bands, it's a great local event that even if you're not from here, you would enjoy being around a crowd of happy people, whatever side you're on. Yeah. And then even ribbon cutting eating is fun. They have them all over town with new businesses, and there's new businesses coming up all the time. And going to a ribbon cutting or yard sales. I love yard sales.
Since you mentioned the ribbon cutting, I got to hit this for Lee Marie because they just did the ribbon cutting on their the Well in the Square. They did an official ribbon cutting last Friday. Well, for the first Friday night market, the final one. And so today she's like, if y'all have time, mention that they've got a flexibility class at 9 to 9:30 with Steve, and then they've got a sewing class coming up 9:30 to 11:30. Tomorrow they've got resistance bands with Cindy Norton. Also, they've got line dance with Lee Marie. I got to get in there and get her to help me get some steps down for my son's wedding. I forgot all about that. I was planning on getting in there and letting her show me a little bit of something about because we've got the wedding coming up. I'm just running out of time. That wedding's on top of us, and I'm like, good land. I didn't mean to interrupt, but Lee Marie had sent me that, and they just had their ribbon cutting. So since you got ribbon cutting on here,
you remind me. Let me see. Tonight, Lee, she reminded me of the meeting at the American Legion in Greenbrier. It's a potluck. Doesn't cost you anything. Bring something to eat, but it's a free meeting, and it's the Tennessee Firearm Association that sponsors it. But we have all kinds of programs there, and interesting talks by different. Maybe we'll have the DA there one time. Maybe we'll have the sheriff there one time. Different people, and this time they're talking about the Johnny Appleseed, whatever. You remember what that is? I had it on my phone. It went away. So anyway.
You mean the actual Johnny Appleseed?
Well, it's a program that teaches kids how to shoot and the safety and all that. We have some expert shooters in the TFA, and what they do, they take kids and teach them the proper ways to handle pistols, rifles, shotgun, whatever. And it's a great positive thing. Instead of being afraid, you know about them and know what not to stay away from, what not to do.
So that's happening tonight.
That's tonight at 6:00 at Greenbrier at the American Legion post. They just remodeled it. So anybody can come, and I tell you what, come if you don't have any food to bring. Just come on anyway. We got tables and people, and it's a good way to meet new people. I go and I see people I don't know who they are. And that's just interesting to talk to them because you don't know their background or why they came. Some of them are not interested in firearms at all. So you just that's one place to go that doesn't cost you anything. You get to eat and listen to a program that's brought up. But anyway, that's all kinds of programs like that. You have one of the biggest highlights around here is a historical cemetery museum tour. And we used to call it Dinner with the Dead because you'd go and there'd be a table and you'd have sandwiches and drinks or something. And then you'd tour the cemetery with people standing in front of the tombstones telling about the person that's buried there. And they would be period dressed, when they were in the 1800s or whatever. And it's real interesting because I'm here.
I find it fascinating.
I've always lived here. And I hear about these things I've never heard before.
And that's one of my and they just had one recently.
Yeah, that was a night. A night tour.
Yeah. And
but that's the baby one. This is the big one.
Okay.
And it is we can cover it a little bit later, the dates and times, but you better call the museum if you're interested to get a ticket because they sell out real quick.
Really?
I've missed it 2 or 3 times. I think, I'll go next week and get the tickets, but
I didn't realize they had another one coming up because I thought they had.
They've been doing it for a long time.
Okay.
I've been in front of a tombstone talking about one of my family, come think about it. And I know it's over 12, 13, 15 years old.
I love it when it's just history because when they start doing all the spooky stuff, I don't want
to. No, they don't do that.
And I don't like any of that kind of thing. And so
I just said that about dinner.
No, but I know what you mean. But that's one of the things I think that a lot of people don't even approach me to tell me about that stuff because they know we just don't do any of the dark stuff of Halloween, just like the stuff that they do up in Adams with the Bell Witch. I find the story of the Bell Witch interesting and fascinating from a historical perspective, but when you start doing all the spooky stuff and trying to, that's occult stuff, man. I'm not playing with that. And
they also talk about the tobacco wars.
The tobacco wars, I really want to go to that.
Some are free. One Sunday afternoon, I think, is free, and then you get around 6 o'clock, they charge for it. But there's a stage inside the school. There's a little area outside that usually everything is, and it's very interesting. It's historical.
And I didn't even know it was a thing, the tobacco war.
Yeah,
I was fascinated by it. And I don't know. I shouldn't be as critical of the Bell Witch play because I've not seen it, and it may not be as as I think it is.
It's not.
And so I shouldn't be so critical of it because I know, but I just don't like the focus on the witch stuff. I'm a big believer in what happens in the spiritual realm, and I just don't believe we need to be inviting that stuff in. And I really don't like that we've got that witch hat. in our logo, for Experience Robertson County. But, anyway, I digress on that. Head's Farm wants to remind us, Kathy Sneed is chiming in. Yes, Head's.
That's my sister.
Heads and Shade Tree Farm and Orchard on Kenny's Road in Adams.
Yeah.
Great class trips.
It is.
They're wonderful. I've been there, and it's just so.
It's so laid back. It's country, laid back.
They say that Heads has a corn maze. Shade Tree provides lesson on growing tobacco, music, growing fruit, and cider making. Their cider's fabulous. I love their cider. And so it's
they're decorated for the fall pumpkins and stuff. It's really a nice drive out.
It really
Cedar Hill, Adams area.
Beautiful time for that.
And there's no pressure. They're very low key families that do these Heads Farm and this one too.
Yeah. And so there's so many great places. So many great places, and so keep going. You got all kinds of wonderful places.
Of course, if you a lot of people, older people, are just shoppers. So there's lots of antique places from Orlinda, Cross Plains, one out on 431 South at Springfield. We do that all the time. Don't buy anything, but we just go looking, and it brings back a lot of memories of old stuff there. Of course, we have the county fair, which is very popular around here. A lot of it's indoors, a lot of it's outdoors. I went and worked at it this time, like to kill me, selling hot dogs for the Kiwanis Club. But we were 6 hours there. But anyway, also Halloween. There's oodles of things going on Halloween.
Trunk or treats.
Trunk or treats. All of Pain Brothers has a trunk or treat. Churches have trunk or treats. Even the drive-in car displays have trunk or treat. I'm
not sure. I need to get a hold of Jerry over at Veterans Motorplex, because they will typically do one from the trunks of race cars. And I'm not really sure what they've got, but I keep forgetting to call him to see if they're doing.
Well, that's another one.
But I would assume that
if it's not enough in Robeson County, we're so close.
Motorplex. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're so close to Davidson County. Yeah. There's all kinds of activities over there, and it's 30-minute drive. Yeah. But we got so much here. I don't know why you'd want to go over there.
A friend of mine, Lisa Fort, that comes on First Friday. She, because I've talked so much about veterans, she had a lot of racing in her childhood, and so she took her kids to the racetrack. Said they had the best time. I took my grandson last year for the first time. He was just enamored of the racetrack. It is so much fun, and I mean they're about to wrap up their season. I'm not really sure where they are on that, but if you want to get out to the racetrack, this is a great time to do it on Saturdays. Go to the racetrack. So what else you got?
Back up a little bit. The Robeson County Museum, which is off the square in Springfield. I think you pay $4 or something. I mean, something real low.
$25. I think it's $25. You can be a member.
Yeah,
and
but I mean, just
get
to
a
visit.
Discount. But I try to keep a membership there, and I forget to renew it.
I do too.
I'll go in to buy gifts at a gift shop and get a discount, so I'll re-up my membership.
They've got so good of displays in there. You go downstairs.
That's great. Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, Dr. Swan was a dentist in the Bell Building. And I remember he'd have the window open because it didn't have air conditioning, and people would shout, and you could hear them on the street. I don't want to go up there.
You'd hear people screaming, getting their teeth worked out.
They have his whole setup, the drill, the little dish, the chair, everything down in the basement, and they have displays down there and stuff. It's just amazing.
So cool.
They need something 4 times that big. Just enough stuff to do it.
Yeah, because I know I gave them some of my mother's dolls. She had these beautiful antique dolls, and none of us have an interest in them. And I gave them to the museum. I don't know if they have them on display anywhere yet or not, but to put into a display because they're period pieces. And, because I know people give them stuff all the time. But
you've seen on Channel 5, I think they're talking about this big mural in Nashville, and you go get your picture taken in front of it. We've got one on 7th Avenue.
Yeah, we got
5th and 7th, right there. Huge, beautiful mural. The guy that does that is really
good. Yeah.
And he's doing some more, but we got that. It doesn't cost you anything. Go take a picture, in front of it, send it to the it has about tobacco in there in Robeson County, and it's really neat.
It's a really neat one, and just all kinds of fun things.
And I like to visit auction sales. I don't spend any money, but I love to see them bid and know how they bid, and and the auctioneers go, blah, 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 Now, how do I know what the price is if he's just mumbling on? But anyway, auctions are fun because you learn. You learn.
I love auctions. I love auctions too. Haven't been to one in a long time, but yes, those are a lot of fun.
Then there's a chili challenge, October 23rd.
That is coming up
at the center,
yes,
and I know the Kiwanis Club. We're coming up with a formula for chili, but that's always exciting.
And it benefits open door pregnancy and research.
Right, everything has a benefit. They have a movie night on October 23rd at the same time at the center.
Okay.
And Classic 10 Cruise, they are car collectors. They meet October 29th on Trunk or Treat. And they use it in the parking lot there next to Waffle House. I think, there's all kinds of things like that. There's a Halloween party, October 25th at Garner Street Park.
Okay.
Trunk or Treat at the Waters for the elderly people.
Oh.
Then there's a group over in New Hope Road called Turkish Lamp Workshop.
What in the world is that? I saw that on this
October
list,
19th.
and I'm like, what in the world? Turkish lamp? I don't even know what a Turkish lamp
they're
is.
on Facebook. But you can learn how to build these lamps. They're unusual. Turkish lamps.
Huh.
Not Enough Quilts and Fabric is the name of the place, and it's on New Hope Road.
Turkish lamp. I'm very curious about this Turkish lamp.
In town with commercial stuff, Willie Mae's is a little restaurant right across the post office, and they're really known for their barbecue and briskets and things like that. They have an open mic night, karaoke, and they're having a karaoke contest October 17th.
Oh, fun.
That's on 8th Avenue. Then there's a watercolor workshop, October 25th at 1108 South Main. And then there's a Halloween dog costume contest at Head's Farm on Kenny's Road, October 25th.
That's fun.
This is just the second page of stuff I'm on here. I found Kiwanis Club has a fantastic toy drive. We even have people that are not members of Kiwanis come in and help us. We do it we collect it all in the basement of the YMCA, and we're running out of space. We're going to have to find a bigger place.
Oh, really?
It's so huge.
Yeah.
I work until I can't hardly stand up anymore.
I love it.
Then there's the Halloween party, October 21st at Willie Mae's. So Willie Mae's just changed ownership, so they have a karaoke, a Halloween party.
Okay.
There's something going on there all the time. Then one of the favorites of mine, the Boo Bash Dash.
Yes,
Robeson
I love
County
that.
Fairgrounds, October 25th. This is all in October. Then Payne Brothers Trunk or Treat, Pumpkin Workshop at Cedar Hill Apothecary. And that's not in Cedar Hill. That's on South Main at the Forks, where Bats and South Main split there. And that's October the 16th. Then they have, this special Cocktails by Candlelight Dinner on South Main. That's there near the 7th Avenue and South Main cross there. Decorating Pumpkins at TSC on October the 15th. And if you want to do something you think is very productive, Habitat for Humanity, October 26th, working on the Carter Project on 4637 Highway 161. I'm sure they would appreciate anything you'd like to do there. If you're good with a hammer or just taking out trash.
I knew that they were doing a habitat build, and I wanted with the wedding coming up and the house torn up, we just couldn't get over there. But man, that would be that's one of my bucket list things is I want to do something with habitat.
That's something that's very useful,
For sure.
Then there's a Halloween glow party. It's dress up, 2 hours of playtime at TSC, and that is October 25th.
And that's at Tractor Supply too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coffee and camaraderie at Credit Union. The Credit Union's up on the hill, going north of town on October 21st. Women in Business Candle Making, October 27th, and that's at the Senior Citizen Center. And then Northcrest or TriStar is having community meet and greet. You can go meet and greet the officers at the hospital, and this doesn't cost you anything, and that's October 21st at BS Brew Works.
You skipped the trick or treat on the square.
Well, I'm just glancing down.
Oh, you're glancing down because I'm following with you, but that's
October
a really
31st,
cool one. And it's like trick or treat on
that's
this
on
downtown
Halloween.
Square. Yep, it's on Halloween.
And they say kids have nothing to do.
I know, it's crazy. There's tons of stuff.
And the Methodist Church has a fall social, October 25th.
Okay.
Then there's another fall social at the Free Will Baptist Church on 16th Avenue, which is behind UNARCO.
Yeah.
They have a tremendous community situation going on with the Hispanics. They even put soccer goals up there, and they're coming in droves, and their problem is somebody to translate.
And where is this?
This is at the Free Will Baptist Church on 16th Avenue behind UNARCO, going right
And
behind
so
up there.
They're becoming the soccer place, huh?
Well, they were, in fact, I paid for one of the goals. They were trying to come up and said, our whole community around here is mostly Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to attract them to church? And I said, well, their favorite game is soccer.
Play soccer.
You put it up, they'll come. And sure enough, here the children start coming first, and then the adults come.
Yeah.
And the only thing it cost them is the goals and a ball, you know. Yeah. And so they're a little church, but they're doing what they should be doing, which trying to get somebody elsewhere, they get people that are around them. And I'm sure it's a great
That's really cool. That's really cool. I love that. That's
then
awesome.
Lunch and Learn. That's when we want to go and learn about going on in the city and the county. And that's Lunch and Learn November 3rd at Springfield Baptist Church. They usually had it at the library, but this time it's Springfield Baptist because maybe it got too big there or something. Then there's one called Jingle and Mingle around town, and that's in White House, and that's November the 8th. And then there's also, and I've participated in this in the past, my mother and I used to deliver meals on Thanksgiving to shut-ins and all, and there's all kinds of church activities doing that, free meals.
Mm-hmm.
The one out here on Central, it's not a church, it's, what is it? It's a lunch program free, you know, and I don't remember they call it. Anyway, there's lots of people doing that. And if you want to do something for somebody, you can join in, get your car, take a meal to somebody that's shut in. And
Meals on Wheels.
People shut in don't see people. They don't, they got TV. So, you know, it's a real ministry to do something for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And that's the King's Table. Is that
King's Table? That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah,
because that's what my husband and I started doing on Thanksgiving last year. Because with my mother's passing, that ended our Thanksgiving Day tradition of having Thanksgiving. Because I had tried to get my mother to have it on Friday because there's so much competition for Thanksgiving Day, and because we're all just drawn, and she just really wanted to keep having it on Thanksgiving Day. And once she passed, I moved our Thanksgiving to Black Friday. So I gave up the holidays because, I mean, they're just days that we created, for heaven's sakes. And so it makes it a lot easier on our family. And I've talked a lot about that and really encourage you, if you're having stress over competing for the holiday, give it up. Just give it up.
My wife just sent me a text. She says she locked herself out of the house.
Oh, no. He'll be there in a minute.
Be there in 15 minutes.
Oh, bless.
Anyway, turkey shoots. I like turkey shoots. When I was young, I used to think they shot turkeys.
I did too.
And
I did too.
There are people that move here that know nothing about turkey shoots.
Yeah.
You're shooting at a target with a shotgun, and it's really luck. And whatever pellet gets to the center, you win a turkey. You win
bacon.
It's a frozen turkey.
Well, but they don't even, the one that they do up here at the VFW, you can win like I don't know. It'll be
they have
bacon,
different things.
And they'll have different kinds of meat.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know.
Well, they have them all over the county.
Or something.
I went to one out here across from Coopertown School in a field back there. Yeah. Went to one in Greenbrier at the American Legion post there. Yeah. They're all over the place. And they're money raisers is what it does.
Well, the one at the VFW is to raise money to help veterans. And so I really, appreciate that one because they're there they'll be there through Thanksgiving.
Let me tell you a story.
But they help out veterans locally.
I had a friend of mine who was a veteran. He was in Korea, and he lives in Clarksville. And he's 2 or 3 years older than I am. I'm 81. So he called me. He said, my brother-in-law just died, and he had one of these lift things that would lift him out of the bed into a wheelchair. And he also had a walker or something. He said, do you know of anybody that would need that? And I said, let me think about that. So I called the Veterans Administration in Springfield. I forget the lady's name and answered. I told her, I said, here's 2 things that are in Springfield we'd like to just give away. She said, I'll call you back. She had somebody right off the bat. So I called the man in Clarksville. He set up with her, and bang, somebody got blessed with it. Yeah. It didn't cost anything. And those things are expensive.
You better believe it.
I remember Mr. Byron Payne invented one. He made one for his mother. I got a picture of him taking her out of bed in this hammock type thing, you know.
Really?
But anyway, I'm just full of stuff, but I can't remember what I did 15 minutes ago. Anyway.
You're hysterical.
Christmas classics, arts and crafts, food, November 21st and 22nd at the fairground. Tickets are $7 on Friday and $5 on Saturday, and the under 10 is free. And it's good to take kids to. Christmas in the Briar, November 29th in Greenbrier High School. You know, I think a lot of these Orlando senior citizens that have things I don't know about. White House, Cooperstown, all of them have things, and especially around Halloween. Remember when I was a kid, we had Halloween at the Cheatham Park School, and Mr. Stewart, Claiborne Stewart was the principal. He had something in every classroom going on, and you might be bobbing for apples or fishing.
Yeah, you know, we did that.
It was all kinds of things, and it was so much fun.
When I was a kid,
they would dance out in the foyer. You know, it was really, really nice, and it didn't cost anything. You know, you went and got candy and all of that. You know, there's Christmas market at Krieger Farm, Burgess Gower Road, December the 6th. Donuts and hot cocoa with Santa at the History Museum again. I don't have a date. They hadn't set a date on when that will be. They do it every year. And then there's the church-related 20th anniversary candlelight service at and holiday at Memorial Gardens and Funeral Home. Sugar Plum Ball. I've never been. It's a big thing with a group of certain people that like that. You got to dress up, you know, and I don't have any dress up stuff.
I enjoyed it. I honestly.
Oh, you've been, right?
I've been.
Oh, okay.
But because they had it and then they didn't have it, and now they've restarted it in the last few years. And I enjoy it. It's like prom for grown-ups, I guess. Yeah. And I would love to get tickets and take my family and grandkids, because I think my grandkids would have a ball. Dancing and all that kind of stuff. And so I think it's neat that they're doing it. It is, you know, it's one of those things that sells out, you know, and so I doubt you could get tickets to it now, but I don't know. But I think it would be a fun thing to take your whole family to. I think it'd be great. Then
there's Chile, Tennessee Christmas, December the 6th, and they read stories. Mrs. Claus reads stories, and they have a toy drive, and now I don't remember where that is. I didn't write it down.
Well, now you skipped the famous Christmas tour of homes, or did you?
We had talked about it earlier, but Christmas tour of homes is really, really good. Yeah. I have never seen anybody that said they didn't like it.
Oh yeah,
you get to go in houses that are decorated.
Houses.
You go, wow, you know,
really cool.
Yeah. And then one of the highlights here is a Christmas lights tour through the Travis Price Park. Now, there'll be a parade before that, and at night. It's a night parade, and it brings you into the park, and the city, different departments of the city have spent a lot of money on displays, and it's really, really beautiful. And it goes until latter part of December.
What is FM Radio 90? What is that?
That is I built one, a little radio transmitter that as you drive through the park, it'll tell you about it. It's just short range, you know, it doesn't even require a license. Okay. I set one up for the Purpose of Life Church years ago when COVID hit, so they could sit out in the parking lot and listen to the service. And it doesn't require a license, you know, it's less than a mile.
Okay.
And you've seen some on highways when you drive, you want traffic information.
Yeah.
It's like that. And then that nighttime Christmas parade, I think, is really neat.
I love it. It's the best.
And then they have a town Christmas parade. We always have one every year, but it bounces around. We tried to be the first one, so it was real early in the year to to do it. But anyway, it opens up the Winter Wonderland Holiday Lights on November the 9th.
So a bit of hit, because you're about to get through your list here. A question: did y'all have a Christmas parade when you were a kid?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it during the day?
We had fair parade, Christmas.
Okay.
I remember my brother headed up one time, and it was fantastic. All the floats, we don't have floats anymore like we used to, but we used to decorate floats, and the girls would on the floats or whoever, And
well, they still do. And the competition for the lit floats now is.
I have a picture of 4 businessmen in town on a float playing music. One had a guitar, one had a bass guitar, and all. And I saw Edison Guthrie, and I said, Edison, I think one of these men's your grandfather.
Oh wow!
And he looked. He said, Yeah, that's him on the left with that bass. And so I showed it to his picture, the picture to his sister, and she said, "That's a 3-string bass. It's very, very rare." And I think she told me what they did with it, and her mother's. When she died, she got rid of a lot of stuff, and she gave it to somebody. But anyway, I thought
interesting,
very historical. And it was crossing the railroad tracks on Main Street.
Interesting.
And there's a lot more activities, and than I mentioned. Nonprofits such as United Ministry Foods and other organizations that provide food for people for free. Or you can go, they have a clothing outlet, which you can buy clothes for 50 cents and stuff like that. And it's just amazing what people do in Robeson County and Springfield.
Yep.
So we're a very giving people, I think. We're a country, and yet we're, we're innovative. And we have country folks here. Country people are different than city people. They're just more forgiving,
yes.
more friendly. But we are full of country people. And if you want to read about that, my article next week I think it's coming out this week actually, about country people and country habits and everything in the connection. And in the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, I'll talk about that, how people were and how they acted in the old days in the country.
It's different.
And if you want something, you're older, and the Robeson County Senior Center, they have all kinds of activities going. They go take buses to places and go visit places, and they go out of state. They'll go to Florida. They go to South Dakota. They're really active.
They really have trips like I had no idea.
And then if you can't hardly move, they have activities for you to do that, and they have people use the place for meetings.
Yeah.
In fact, my ham radio club, I've reserved it for December.
Okay.
And that's so neat to have. It used to be the old Payne Brothers display room.
But there's just, really? I didn't know that.
You didn't? That was used to be Payne Brothers right there.
Really?
I'll tell you a secret that nobody knows. When we established a YMCA here back in the 70s, and it folded, but when we did, we were in the old post office building.
Okay.
And we had karate classes in there and stuff going on, but we also went across to the old Payne Brothers building, and when you're facing it to the right, there's a little stairway that goes underneath it. And we set up a shooting range down there. We had big metal plates at an angle and sand at the bottom. When you can shoot, it reflected down the sand.
That's great.
And I don't know of anybody that remembers it. I mentioned it, and nobody remembers it. And I said, well,
so funny.
Oh, I don't know. Some of the people I know was involved in it dead now.
Yeah.
Thomas Guthrie was one of them. But anyway, I don't know if it's still down there or not. I can't imagine my hauling those metal plates out. They were pretty good size.
That's hysterical.
But it may be down there.
This is in the basement of the post office now?
No. The senior center.
Okay.
It's in the basement of that. If you go around to the right, it goes down underneath there. I remember Don Payne, who was a ham operator. He helped me a great deal. But he built he was an engineer. His education was an engineer at Georgia Tech. He built a little track and put a roller skate on it and had a slide angle so the people in the shop could put the bill on a roller skate and it'd go down to the office.
Oh, how
And I thought that was so neat, but he did stuff like that,
That's hysterical. I had no idea.
I bought my first car there. It was '62 Chevrolet.
I love it.
And,
I had no idea that was the Payne showroom.
You didn't really?
No, I mean, I'm not from here, Bill.
They started down on
Mayfield.
South Main. As you go down the hill from Fifth Avenue on the right, they had a car dealership. His daddy, Byron Payne, would go and buy a Chevrolet. They'd ship it in on a train. Maybe he'd buy 2 of them, cars. And he would go to the train station, drive them off the thing down South Main, sell them, go buy 2 more. That's the way he got started in 1927.
That's amazing.
And then they moved up, and that was a big deal, moving up there near the courthouse, because back then people walked everywhere. They didn't really, people who worked in town walked from their houses because they lived on Oakland, Walnut Street, and Main Street. They lived there, so I didn't drive much, but he wasn't the first car dealership in town. There were several others that went out. But he was there during the Depression, and he made it through the Depression when a lot of others didn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're offshoot on that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, and we're about out of time, and I've got to do a break, but I want to mention one thing that you've not mentioned, and we're going to have him on tomorrow. Lacey Bue's coming in to talk about the Christmas sampler.
Yeah. That's another. Yeah. Sorry,
there's so many.
Sorry, I didn't mention that.
No, there's so many things, and the Christmas sampler is November 7th and 8th.
I researched the Christmas sampler since it started.
Oh, it's neat.
And
it's neat.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Another amazing thing for Robeson County.
I'm telling you.
Nashville started one after we did because they saw it so successful.
Yeah, and it's huge.
There were thousands of people that came to it.
And so, but Lacey will be in here tomorrow morning from 7 to 7:30 to talk about the Christmas sampler. And then we've got Judge Perry coming in and the girls coming in at 7:30 to talk about Recovery Court graduation, which is Thursday. So much going on. And we got to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. My friends in real estate, guys, if you need some help in real estate, you're just going to love working with Barry and Rebecca. They're just great people. They're like me, they're transplants here. They have made Robertson County their home for 30 years, and we're not going nowhere, y'all. They just celebrated their 30-year anniversary, as a matter of fact, up in Cross Plains, by giving a smart car to the police chief up there, or to the police station. So that's a pretty cool thing that is going on. But Barry and Rebecca Richards, if you have any concerns about anything going on in real estate, if you're wanting to buy, if you're wanting to sell, if you're wanting to be a realtor, they have been working with the Exit team really since Rebecca got into this, and she's been at it a long time. She's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. She studies this stuff. They have been given so many awards, both of them, because they're good at what they do. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. He has a brokerage office here in Springfield. She has her agency office up in White House. They combine those two to bring you Exit Prime Realty, a new branch in the tree is what we like to say, a few years ago, and they have everything you need. If you just, maybe you just want a free market analysis about what your property is worth, they can do that for you. They love to say that the best time to buy is right now, because if interest rates are low, houses prices go up. If interest prices are high, housing prices go down. So it balances out. It's never a bad time to buy, guys. So get on it and talk to them.
7-8 years now, you wish you had bought now.
Ain't that the truth? I'm telling you guys. So reach out to them today. Barry and Rebecca Richards. Here is her phone number, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425 for Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. When you talk to them, always let them know U-Turn sent you. I know. I'm just stunned at what property
7 or 8 years from now, you look back and say, well, I thought that was high, but it's really a good deal.
You better believe it. And I'm telling you, it's just, we're in an area that is just booming. I look at, what our property values increased. Wow. I'm just,
well, and
crazy.
I want to say one thing in ending. Springfield and Robeson County is a good place to live because it's a quiet, affordable lifestyle. There's close access to Nashville with a small town charm, community feel, and affordable compared to the Nashville area.
Yeah.
That's our bottom line here. That's who we are.
It is a good place to be. It is a good place to be, guys. And Bill, you're just always so much fun to talk to. Thank you for this list. We're going to keep this in the radio station here.
Well, there's more. There's
a lot more.
So
much more.
Didn't have time
well,
to
it's just like the Christmas sampler is one of the ones that, we've got signs everywhere. And Lacey will be in here tomorrow to talk about that. and we got recovery court graduation. Talk about something free that you can do on Thursday is go and encourage these folks that have come through recovery because it affects all of us.
You don't know somebody involved in that. You don't realize what they have gone through.
That's right.
They're very brave people.
And we're having our Celebrate Recovery 4th anniversary at the Madison Church of Christ on Wednesday. You can come to that and celebrate with us. But I'm telling you, the things that are going on that you can be a part of, and those are a couple of events we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Don't tell me we don't have anything to do.
And that's the truth. And
wow.
So we want you to be a part of it. Love you guys. What a fun show. Thank you, Bill, always. And before I know we're over, but how did your ham thing go on Saturday? I wish I could have gotten
very interesting. One of the most interesting ones, we had a demonstration of how to talk to satellites.
Fun.
And use satellites.
Yeah.
It's quite a setup, of antennas and everything. So we had hidden transmitter hunts. We had demonstrations of go bags where you set up for emergencies. It wasn't that many people there, but it will grow as people. We're going to do it every year. So
well, I'll try my best to be there next year. Hopefully, my house won't be torn up, and my son won't. We've got, like I said, my youngest son getting married. So this is my last wedding until my grandkids.
You feel old?
No, I guess. I mean, I'm old, but it's all good. It's all good. I love to tease my high school
students. That's a lot of birthdays.
Yeah.
Like my grandson said, it's a lot of birthday presents when you have grandchildren, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren,
You better believe it, yeah.
Can't remember the dates.
Yeah, trying to keep it all straight. But I am blessed, aren't we all? But
I got to go get my wife in the house.
Yep, you know what? I forgot. Oh, I'm sitting here going over, and she's like, well, y'all wrap it up and come let me in the house. God bless you guys, and I appreciate y'all being here. And enjoy your fall break, everybody. I'm going to enjoy mine, try to get some stuff done. Thank you, Bill. And on the way out, I just remind you that this is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Thank you for joining us, and be sure and join us tomorrow. All things Christmas sampler and recovery court graduation is what we're going to be talking about. One real quick programming note. Normally, they would have the school board meeting tonight, but because of fall break, they did it last week. So we would normally meet with Dr. Weeks the day after the school board meeting. Well, it was last week, and we already had something booked on Tuesday and could not get him in here. But I did kind of go over what they did, and we'll try to catch up with him. We'll see if we can't get him in maybe next week, but we'll have to work with his schedule once everybody gets back from fall break. But again, that won't be happening tomorrow, and the school board meeting is not tonight because it is fall break. And so just that, with that note, on the way out, I say again, thank you for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.